Hey, hello guys, today's the 19th of August 2020. It's been about a week or so since I did a video. I just thought I'd like to talk to you guys for a moment about what it's like to book loads out here on the road as an independent owner operator. Like I've said many times before, we deal exclusively in the spot market. It's basically the Wild West of trucking. It's the only way I can think to describe it. So what our greatest challenge when we're out here doing these loads is to be able to book things so that things flow smoothly, so that when we pick up our load, we can get it delivered on time and go ahead and get our next load and run it on out and just run our miles. A lot of weeks that works out great, and then other weeks you have difficulties that you just can't foresee, and it's most of the time it's through no fault of your own. Usually if there's some issue with the rig, with the truck or the trailer in terms of maintenance, then that's on us. But then other times you just can't predict, if a load's going to fall through, or if you're going to get held up for a long time at a shipper or a receiver, or what to expect. So this week I left the house on Sunday afternoon, ran that load down to Trenton, South Carolina, and delivered that Monday morning. Guys, took a little while to get it off. I think I was done by about 10:30 or so, and then I sat there for actually a couple hours looking for a decent run that I wanted to do. And so I found something over in Beach Island, South Carolina. Kimberly-Clark Corporation has a large plant over in Beach Island. Load picked up, had an appointment actually at 3 o'clock, and load was supposed to deliver the next morning at 6:30 in Quincy, Florida. So it was I picked up the load in Beach Island on Monday afternoon. I got there actually about an hour and a half before my appointment at 3 o'clock, and normally we give them the first 2 hours. After that, detention starts. Detention is anywhere from $35 to $75, just depending on what the broker will get for you. So they took their entire 2 hours to do it. We had to drop the trailer in the yard and then wait while they loaded it. So then I got that load. I got out of there a little bit after 5:30. By the time I got hooked back to the trailer, slid the tandems, got moving. Got down to Florida, all the way to Quincy. I think it was about 11:15 my time, and parked up right there on the side of the road at the receiver. And the following morning, they was pecking on my door early in the morning, and got the load off. Had to go pay the lumper. Actually, the broker gave me a check, comp check, so I can pay the lumper. The lumper is when you have to have somebody actually take the load off. And that's a whole nother video I'd like to talk about. I've seen a lot of things change in the almost 30 years that I've been out here in terms of lumping loads. So then I had another load I had booked for Tuesday out of Albany, Georgia at Procter & Gamble. It's been years since I was at the Procter & Gamble plant in Albany, Georgia, and I thought, well, what the heck, I'll just give it a try. So dead-headed Tuesday morning. I left there about 9:30, and actually 10:30 Eastern time. Went up to Albany and got checked in. And at that time they had me just drop my trailer in the door because I had an appointment for 12:30 to get loaded. And so I dropped the trailer. Told them, I said, guys, I'm gonna go get something to eat for lunch. And while I was at lunch, I actually called back to the guard shack, and they said, yeah, trailer's done. So that worked out sweet. So my first 2 loads for the week, starting on Monday, moved very smoothly. Didn't have really any issues at all to speak of. And then so I delivered the one I picked up in Albany, Georgia on Tuesday afternoon, delivered in Bessemer, Alabama at Dollar General warehouse last night. The appointment was for 10 o'clock, and I arrived there at 8 p.m. I checked into the guard shack, and then of course they take your cell phone number and tell you, okay, park over here and we'll call you when we get ready for you. So that's what I did, and they called me right at 10 o'clock, and I pulled on in and bumped the dock, And would you believe they had me unloaded in 45 minutes? It was very fast, very streamlined. And so I was pleased with that. So this morning I got up, I actually slept on the yard there at Dollar General in Bessemer, Alabama. And I got up this morning and drank my coffee and was looking at the load board on my phone. And I found a load out of Sylacauga, Alabama, going over to Johnsonville, South Carolina. That paid, it wasn't a great rate, but it was okay. I think it paid a little over $2 a mile, something like that. But then before I booked it, I looked to see what was in Johnsonville. So I found a load in Johnsonville for tomorrow going up to Groveport, Ohio. So I'm thinking, okay, if I can run the Johnsonville over today, drop it tomorrow morning, get the Johnsonville to Groveport, Ohio, deliver it Friday morning, then all I got to do is find anything that'll go south down into Tennessee, pretty much anywhere in Tennessee or Georgia or Alabama, or even northern Florida would get me home for the weekend if I want to be home. Although I'm not really looking to be home this weekend if I don't have to. So that's what I did. I booked those two loads, and then I found a load in just south of Groveport, Ohio, that picks up on Friday going to Stone Mountain, Georgia. So ran the miles, and it literally was like 10 miles out of route to take me home for the weekend. So the point I'm trying to make is I had this brilliant, notice I said had, I had this brilliant setup in mind where, okay, so I go to Sylacauga today, pick up, run it over to Johnson City or Johnsonville, deliver it tomorrow, pick up in Johnsonville tomorrow, go to Groveport, Ohio, deliver that Friday morning, pick up out of Ohio Friday, go to the house, be sitting at home Friday afternoon, Friday evening early, and then leave out after church on Sunday and run down to Stone Mountain and get that off Monday morning. So all in all, I would have had, I think, almost $5,500 gross on about 2,370 miles, I think. I think it averaged out to around $230 a mile. Now, when I say per mile, I'm not counting just book miles. I always count what my odometer reads. So I thought that would be a pretty good week. So I fired the truck up, did my pre-trip, headed on down to Sylacauga, and that's when the you-know-what hit the fan. Get to Sylacauga, and he says, "Driver, we got a problem." I said, what's happening? He says, "Your load's not scheduled to go till tomorrow." I said, "Buddy, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just going off what the broker told me." So he says, "You need to call your broker and find out." So that's what I did while I'm sitting there. Sorry, guys, I got to put these sunglasses on. Getting a little bright out here. Let's call the broker, and the broker tells me, he says, "I am so sorry." I said, "Load's not going till tomorrow, right?" He says, "Yep. I could have sworn it said today, but it says tomorrow." I said, "Well, I'll be honest with you, I probably jinxed myself because I already booked 2 loads after your load to get me through the house for the weekend. Beautiful setup." He says, "Well, driver, I really do apologize. This is where your broker shines for you." He admitted that it was his mistake. And so he came right out and said, "Listen, if you don't want to wait till tomorrow, I understand. No big deal. I'll get you a TONU. Truck ordered, not used. TONU. Give you a TONU of $150. If you don't want to do it, or if you want to stay, okay, great, and then they'll load you tomorrow." I said, "I'll just take the truck order not used. See what else I can find." So that's what I did. And so I sat there for probably another 30 minutes or so looking at loads. And I don't know if, you never know if you make the right decisions or not in the trucking business, because I've always said the trucking business is like taking a jigsaw puzzle and throwing all of the pieces in the air. But before they hit the ground, you have to have a complete picture made. In other words, the trucking business is basically controlled chaos. And so if you're not comfortable working in a very chaotic environment, then trucking is not for you. I have grown accustomed to working in this type of environment myself because it doesn't bother me. I have to flow with it. A trucker has to be able to be flexible and pliable and not so concerned about having a regimented day. Because things change. And 1 minute you think you've got it all figured out and you've got your next 3 or 4 days planned, and in an instant it all changes. Life is like that too. Life can change on you in an instant, when you least expect it. So I always put my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. I never get concerned whenever I have a load fall through, because I always know that the Lord has a better plan for me. Whether it be for better load, I always accepted in my heart that it just was not meant to be for me to do that load. And so I just move on with it and roll with the punches. So that's what we've had to deal with today, guys, as far as booking our loads, making things work and making it flow smoothly. So, all that being said, I tried to go down one road today with these 3 loads, and it quickly all fell apart. Any driver that's been out here for a while is going to tell you, hey, it happens. Don't get upset, just roll with it. What I've done now is I've booked another load, and maybe you think I'm crazy, but this load actually doesn't load until tomorrow in Birmingham, Alabama, and it's going down to Fort Benning, Georgia. It's a little over 150-mile run, but it's paying a decent rate, $700. So that's a decent rate per mile. Plus I get my $150 truck order not used from the last broker. So I've got basically $850. So I'll pick that load up in the morning and then run it down to Fort Benning and then hopefully be able to get it off tomorrow. We'll see. Hopefully I will. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but that's the plan that I'm going with right now. So, guys, like I said, you can't get upset when stuff like this happens, because loads will fall through. Things will happen, and it's almost inevitably out of your control. So you have to be able to have the mental flexibility to roll with it and not get upset. So that's all I have for today, guys. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about that and understand that as long-haul truck drivers, every day is different. So now I'm here at the Jack's restaurant. Jack's, it's all about the South. That's what their phrase says. I love Jack's because you see them all throughout the South, and they always have a gravel lot, usually it's gravel, for parking semi-trucks. And so I stopped here and got me something to eat, and then I decided, well, if I want to move on into Birmingham here in just a little bit or this afternoon, or if I just want to stay here tonight. I'm only like 40 miles from the shipper in Birmingham at the moment. So for today, I wish each and every one of y'all a blessed day, Godspeed, and stay tuned to another episode of Tennessee Trucking.